Let's look today at a big, beefy graphite pencil. Hello everyone. First things first, this video was inspired by another YouTube video producer. I Wrote It Down is the name of the channel. And he, if you don't subscribe to his channel, you should probably do that if you are a fan of pencils or notebooks or journaling or anything of that character. Those are all subjects that he produces videos about. And he recently, very recently, released a video reviewing a pencil very, very similar to this. And I, at that point, discovered that this pencil that has been in my collection for a while, I have never really tried and have never reviewed. And I also learned that it is likely a knockoff of a name brand product. This was purchased through AliExpress, and like a lot of things purchased that way, it has a counterpart in a brand name product. Not always, but often. So we will discuss that. This is a big, heavy, beefy pencil, or I guess technically a lead holder because it's a simple clutch mechanism. And look at the size of that lead. Let's talk about what I have here. It is marked Angel Mark, not a brand name that means anything to me, and not one that I've been able to find anything anywhere else other than AliExpress. It may be just a for release through AliExpress only. But the lead holder that was reviewed by the good gentleman at I Wrote It Down, and I will put a link in the description to his channel. Go subscribe if you haven't already, after you're done watching this video, naturally. The pencil or the lead holder that he reviewed that was very, very similar to this was branded Kohinoor. So likely Kohinoor was having these made in China, and I'm guessing here, but I would suppose whatever factory was producing them produced the contracted number and then just kept the machinery going and produced some others under a generic mark and sold them under that generic name for reduced prices. When I purchased this through AliExpress, it was around $2. I think they're still selling for about that, $2 for a really heavy-duty lead holder. And we'll talk about the makeup of this in a moment. One thing I will point out off the bat, the description from the seller on AliExpress says the barrel is plastic. I can't tell. I would have guessed that was a metal based on the weight of it, but it could just be a really solid plastic or resinous material, something polymer, I'm not sure, something that's heavy duty. This has some real weight to it. The mechanics of it are metal, and in the example that I Wrote It Down reviewed, he was able to get this front piece unscrewed and pull out the mechanism, and it appeared to be brass inside. The description from the seller I purchased it from said it was aluminum inside, so I can't guarantee one way or the other. I was not able to get this unscrewed. It is really stuck on there, and I didn't want to mar the surface, the nice chroming, with a pair of pliers. And my focus is jumping all over the place. I apologize. So, can't vouch for what the innards are made of, but it's some type of metal. It is as I mentioned, a simple clutch mechanism like a lot of artist pencils. But the product name here, Angel Mark BM 5600. I assume the 5600 has something to do with 5.6 millimeters, which is the diameter of the graphite in here. You could order this on AliExpress with a range of graphite grades, and I don't remember what I ordered, so I don't know what's in here. But based on the marks it's leaving on my fingers, it's a soft graphite, although really with any grade of graphite, when it's that thick, you're going to get some stray graphite staining your fingers and whatever else happens to touch it. It came in green. It also came in a few other colors, as I recall, black and green from the seller I purchased it from, but I think other sellers have other colors. Comes with a sharpener built into the end. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Probably will not. Probably see a little bit down in there. It's a pair of metal U-shaped blades that basically functions as 4 separate blades, not unlike the sharpener that came with the Kitaboshi adult pencil that I reviewed recently. This one's a click mechanism and has what many would consider a very thick graphite, a 2mm, but that's nothing compared to the big beefy lead that comes out of this sucker here. So heavy, strong, durable. The review from I Wrote It Down reviews this as an everyday carry type pencil. Tuck it in your pocket. You're not going to get poked from a sharp point because the graphite recesses, and really it's not sharp anyway. It's pretty thick, so unlikely to injure yourself. Nothing is going to break. It's very robust, so you could carry that in your pocket. Maybe would have trouble boarding a plane because they could consider it a weapon. It's one of those self-defense wand, baton type deals. Not sure. So, had it for probably at least a year. Never used it, but we will try it today. Oh, I didn't show. Oh, let me get the lead out first. We'll unscrew this, and you can see how it's basically a big hollow tube. So not much going on there. The simple clutch mechanism, I would assume, makes it even more robust. Let's just compare what a 5.6mm graphite is like in real comparison. Here's kind of a standard American 0.7mm graphite on the Sharpwriter. Here's a 1.3, which is a pretty beefy and probably is my choice for my preference for writing. 1.3mm. And then kind of a standard lead holder that an artist might use. This one's actually a click mechanism, and it's from Menard, so it's a generic or store brand name. But we've got, try to arrange them in order here without dropping them. I chose all green for the obvious reason that green is the best color. 0.7mm on the bottom, then 1.3, then 2.0, and then the big beef 5.6mm graphite at the top. It gives you a sense of how massive that is. Let's get these back in proper shape. So we might want to use those when we test it out. Let's find out what kind of graphite came with this. When I ordered the lead holder. I went ahead and ordered refills because I thought those would be difficult to find, and if I ever lost this seller, I might have a hard time finding refills that would fit a pencil like this. I don't know how common 5.6 is. I assume not very. I don't remember how much the refills were, but realistically, this will probably last the rest of my life. But there's 6 additional lead refills. And I'm realizing, whoops, I didn't put the padding back in there. Sorry about that. Bumped the camera out of alignment. I don't know if there was a choice in the graphite darkness, but for some reason I apparently chose, if there was, 8B, which might be overkill on a graphite that thick. Really, an HB probably would have been sufficient in terms of darkness. Let's build up to it, shall we? Make sure I'm on the page here. This is the Sharpwriter, 0.7 millimeters. You can barely see that, I'm sure. Bring it in a little bit. What's next? The Ride in the Rain knockoff from Mr. Pen. Okay, it might not be a knockoff, but it looks just like the Ride in the Rain. Y13 or whatever it's called. We'll call it Mr. Pen because that's who produced this one. 1.3 millimeter. This is an HB graphite in this one, I believe, so I guess the grade of the graphite does make quite a difference when those two are close to each other. I guess this plus this would equal that. And then that is a thick line we have there. I'm assuming this would be something that is more useful for an artist, because that is a thick, dark line. If you're taking notes, this is not the pencil for you. But if you're shading big areas, maybe it is the pencil for you. You're looking for an everyday carry pencil that could also be a weapon. Maybe assists in weight training if you were wanting to prepare for a backpacking adventure, possibly. Okay, it's not that heavy, but it is a pretty heavy bit of stationery. You can get it in the Kohinoor. I forget what it's called from Kohinoor. You can watch, I wrote it down, his video on the subject. He covers it in some detail. So you can visit his channel, watch his review, and find the Kohinoor version, or go to AliExpress, find the knockoff if you're conscience so allows. Have it shipped from China for a couple bucks. Maybe get the refills, but you probably aren't going to need them because obviously the graphite is going to wear off quickly, but how often am I going to be using this in real life scenarios? I don't really know. Maybe as my eyesight continues to worsen, I will. Anyway, there we go. The big, beefy, robust metal and heavy-duty plastic, or possibly aluminum, but I think it's a heavy plastic. Pencil lead holder in a 5.6 graphite core from Angel Mark via AliExpress. Thanks for watching this review, and I hope to see you here again next time.